My name is Tom Bond, and I make videos. And some people do, some people don't, but I just like to make videos. That's just who you are. Everybody's different. There's a dog in the background. Those pictures that you seen a minute ago were actually up at the car park, and I think people camp up around there and they make these fire circles of stones, and it looks like a very traditional thing to do with a circle of stones, but there's not really much need, is there? But anyway, I came across this, but how I found it, and I've camped down here before. I didn't even ask the dog to jump up and she jumped up. Lord, there's habits. But off over on that side I came across a shelter, something onto this before, and there was broken bottles and stuff. There's no rubbish here whatsoever, so fantastic. It's good to see there's no glass bottles, there's no plastic bags, there's no tin cans, there's nothing left here. So there's a nice little bit of good practice it seems going on here. Maybe they buried the rubbish, maybe they took it away, but I can't see any, so you can't make presumptions. And somebody has made this shelter, and possibly a tarp was thrown over this one time, and I'm actually going to use my tarp to go up over this. And there's a lot of different types of cordage used in the construction of this, and you see there's a lot of rope used in this. There's a nice little bit of paracord there with cable ties. You don't need cable ties. A lot of rope, and from what I see so far, you have blue rope, cable ties, paracord, which I'm taking because that's the best. You have red rope, you have more blue rope, red rope, and you have green rope over there, whoop, there, and all those things. And it's a pretty big shelter, and that would fit a lot of people. Now, if there's only one person sleeping here, I don't think so. But I think there are maybe 2, 3, put a tarp over that. A lot of space is in between the sticks, but it's lovely looking and well done. And it's nice to see people out practicing. No matter how professional you are at anything, you always still practicing, you know? And it's not like you're doing it perfection. Like this today is very wet out and very, the rain has eased off a small bit, but I'm going to get a fire going. And everything is very wet, but there's always a way of lighting a fire. That's just how it is. Ta-da! How did I find where these people set up this? Well, you left the little clues out on the road, and I'm not going to tell you what those clues were. But anyway, that's not important. But I still like this. This saves me the bother of using my my paracord for my ridgeline, so I'll use that to make a little tarp set up really high up over my fire to keep off this continuous rain. Boom. Here I have 2 ropes, 2 different thicknesses. They're not far off, but I'm going to do a thing called a sheet bend. And this is a sheet bend is used for 2 ropes of 2 different thicknesses for joining them up. So you basically fold one around the other. I hope it's easy to see. Bring that around and tuck that in. Pretty straightforward. And when you join them, you get a sheet bend. Now we have a thing called a reef knot. Just joining 2 pieces of rope. You're basically going left over right, fold it around, and then you go right over left, and like a regular knot. And when you pull it tight, as you can see, the 2 of them are like this. It's hard to focus on this. And when you pull them, and they hold tight. I actually have a roll of jute twine with me today, and I'm after using a little bit on this tree up here, and I'm going to show you why. There's a really good flow of water running down this side of the tree, and it's continuous. So I've tied up a bit of jute twine here and put a knot, a pretty thick knot, and if I put that there, the water soaks into it, and you see it dripping off. So I'm going to tie my pot around this tree using more cord, and I'm going to get the cord from this. It's Sometimes you forage for other people's bits. I'll tie it back to it with other stuff. I'm going to put my pot around it, and we're going to leave it there for a while and see how much water can we gather. Clean, fresh water. The nectar of heaven. There's a very famous expression that scouters, bushcrafters, survival people, mountain men, frontier men, all these people have used for years. Water, water everywhere and not a drop to drink. You can't just go out and get water and drink it. But here's another grand little thing with a tap. You can see you can use it to collect your rainwater. And there you go, fresh water. You're going to get lots of drops coming off trees. Little things. If you have somewhere you need a container. Wow, that's a really old, it looks to me like the remains of an oak tree. It's massive. I love, just natural woodlands are so good. And this is just a natural woodlands, and the highest percentage of trees here are all beech. There's a couple of spruce trees, but mostly beech. Nice. And that's the lake, Loch Durg, right there. And you can see through those trees, that's actually the water. Now, I'm not going to go down and drink the lake water, but there are other little things I could do with that lake water. Not today. Let's go. Now, I've set up another tarp over, you could say, the resting area, and I'm going to have a light little fire. I don't need a big mad bonfire to just do some cooking. And as you can see from above, that's where I can lie down, and that's just going to be the cooking area. It's just to keep off this heavy rain. I don't need any crazy big mad thing. Little fire. As the old Indian saying goes, white man make big fire and sit far away. Indian makes small fire and sit close. They knew their stuff. I've spotted this inside in a tree. But up here, I'm going to put my hand around, you can hear the water inside. And the water is running down along the tree and in there. And using the same effect as I used for the twine over there, a bit of cotton, something like that. With capillary action, the water is going to follow it up along and drip off the other end. You can get drinking water. Look. Twinkle, twinkle. I spotted something down here. Every single leaf on the ground here is saturated. So I'm wasting my time collecting leaves or the dry grass and all those things. Here we have a fine birch tree. And I could get some birchy bark. But anyway, here's a clematis. Clematis. Look at all that for fantastic. I'm sure I could actually weave that together for not only cordage, I can actually use this as a really good tinder. It's very wet at the moment, but you know what? It's always good to stay a step ahead. And I've seen someone lately making baskets of this, because it is pretty flexible. And this one, listen, that stick snapped fairly easy there. And yeah, it might be wet on the outside, but it's thin, and I'm sure it'll catch a spark with a good ignition. So I'm going to get a load of this clematis. Not going to use it today to get my fire going, but I am going to stuff it into my pocket, and I'll have it for future situations. Always stay ahead of yourself. But never get too far ahead of yourself, because it's too far to catch up. Okay? Yeah, let's get some of this. I just had to show you this. This clematis is like a big mad vine. And watch how far it goes up into that tree. Now, try not to pull it down, because it could be wrapped around a loose branch up there, and I don't give a damn how hard you think your noggin is. If that comes down on your head, it'll probably do a bit of damage. And you certainly don't want any damage when you're out in the middle of a woodland and nobody knows where you are, and you don't know how long you could be possibly knocked out for in the rain. No. The last thing you want to do is, I have underneath a little platform of this dry bark with dead ivy. I have birch bark on this, but I also had a lot of dead ivy there. And look, this stuff should catch a spark. But you know what? I'm actually not going to burn this, because I see loads of little insects. I see little slugs, and I see little spiders, and I see little things where the spiders are going to hatch. So I actually might just put that one back. You'd feel guilty. But anyway, as you can see, I stuck a stick in the ground. It has this one, and I didn't have another one. So what I can do is, I'm going to throw this across, and I can make it, bend it down if I want, and then using my smallest and the lightest twigs, I'm just going to build, and I'm going to cover that over both sides, or even one side nice and heavy with the lightest of twigs, and gradually build from there and build them up. And when I light my fire underneath, there's going to be lots of air, there's going to be lots of ignition, and the sticks are nice and dry to light. Lots more ignition, and I'll put some more birchy bark under there, and that'll get things going. Now, as you can see, I'm after putting a lot of timber up on top. If you're a little bit worried about good ignition, and there's a lot of smoke coming off that because some of the timber is very wet, mostly on the outside where the bark is. The bark holds a lot of dampness, so you need ignition to dry your timber before you burn your timber. You know? So one thing that you could do, if you really want it, give it a good old huff on this puff. That helps the ignition process. That's going to help the cooking process with a cup of tea and my little stew. Yum-y! See, a lot of smoke here. I don't really care. It's nice. And anyway, it's I've everything set up. I've a little roof up overhead, stop constant water from hitting the fire. I have a tarp up so I can lie underneath it. And I have the fire on, and I don't really want to get it up too crazy because I don't need a big mad fire. And plus, when it's slow getting going, I'm in no hurry to gather more fuel, although I have a few bits there. No panic. That smoke should die off in a few minutes, so let's move on. A few minutes ago, I was saying about the smoke would die away and the fire would become clear, and that's exactly what I have now. And there's barely a puff of smoke due to the fact that the wood is now dried out and is burning sufficient. And I have my little root puff over, and I also have my soup ready. As I was saying earlier on about cordage, you can never have enough cordage. And I've set up a basic little trap here. For and all I need is a bit of a guinea pig, and you'll see now in a second. Unfortunately, I don't have a guinea pig, so I might have to use a guinea dog. Keep an eye on this. Nice, Cora. Well, you get the idea. I didn't get the dog, but hey, it would have been classic. The food up inside and all. If that was a bigger mat that I had a small little mat. But you see how it works. And if I had a small little mat, if I had a bigger, like a net or a mat, I had myself a meal. Probably a hot dog. Class. I'm going to check my cup. I'm going to still leave it up there, but what I'm going to do is just put the camera into it. As you can see, water in that cup. Ooh. And it's obviously working, so hey, just leave it there. I guess I understand that I said I was going to do more of cordage hitches and different type rope ties, and I didn't get to that, but one of the greatest is a Siberian or event hitch, which many people use to tie up their tarp. And as you see, I turn around my bit of cord and just wrap it around your fingers like that. Hold on. Wrap it around too, throw it over. Bring it around, back around, in, and pull, and then that'll tighten up. And you have a lovely tight knot. And when you're ready to go, the greatest of them all is quick release. Her food, I've given her the rest of the chicken. That's what I had in the trap. And it's only the small little blanket that I had. If I had a big net, woo! I had myself a meal. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye. And thank you very much. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm just going to leave it play because I heard a piece of music here. I'll just wave goodbye while the dogs eat their food. So anyway, over now, sláinte. Open World Bushcraft. Please feel free to like or share the videos. Thank you.